Hello, my name is Stephen Mayeux, and this is my video series on practical JavaScript where I walk you through the algorithm challenges at freecodecamp.com. In this video, we're going to tackle the Finders Keepers challenge. Let's take a look. Create a function that looks through an array, which is the first argument, and returns the first element in the array that passes a truth test, which is the second argument. Okay, and then basically it recommends that we use the filter function. So yeah, let's jump right into it. We have our, well, I'll go to my Atom editor and do this. So yes, we've got the new JavaScript file 16 finderskeepers.js. I already went ahead and embedded that in the example.html file on line 11 like we normally do. And if we take a look at the JavaScript file, so we have our two arguments. The first argument is the array. Okay, so here is the array that we're looking at. And the second argument is a function. And this is what is going to pass our test. Okay, as you recall, in some of the other challenges, we have used the filter function, and yeah, so it takes an array and it filters out all of the array items that fail the test, and it creates and returns a new array of only the values that pass the test. So for example, let's just take a look at this. Okay, I'm going to say return. All right, and I'm just going to create an array on the fly. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, filter. And then we pass in a function. Okay, so let's say num. Okay, and then we would just say something like return. Okay, let's say let's return only the even numbers. Okay, that's how we would do that. So if we save it, and then if we go to our example.html file in Chrome, open up our JavaScript console. Okay, I'm going to refresh it. Okay, we get 2, 4, 6. Okay, oops. So we're iterating through this array, and then we're only going to return a new array which passes this test. And basically, we're just returning all of the even numbers. So we get 2, 4, and 6. So as you can see here, we have like this function, but why couldn't we just store this function in a variable, for example, and just plop it right in there? Let's try that. So I'm going to create a new variable called var test. Okay, and I'm just gonna there it is. There's our function. Okay. All right, so we have a function, and it's exactly the same thing. I just copied and pasted it. I originally put it in here, and now I'm just storing it in a variable. So now, instead of writing that big old function, I'm just going to write in test, since that is where we're storing the function here. So let's save it. Let's go back to the file, refresh, and exactly the same thing. So if I can store a function in a variable and then use that variable in my array method, in this case the filter method, then surely I can be able to do the same thing with this function argument. So here we have our array, and then we have our second argument, the function, the test that we want it to pass, and I'm just passing it in just like any old regular argument. So let's refactor the code. Okay, so we're going to return an array. All right, we're going to test the this array right here, which is the first argument. We're going to call filter on it, and I need to pass it a function, so that's represented by the second argument, func. Okay, with a C. Okay, so let's pass that. Let's save that. Let's refresh. Okay, we get 2 and 4. So we had the same function earlier, return all of the even numbers. So we get an array of 2 and 4. But let's go back to the instructions, and it tells us create a function that looks through an array and returns the first element in the array that passes a truth test. So we don't need to return all of the elements, all of the values that pass the truth test, only the first element. Well, this right here, it is returning an array to us. Okay, that's all it is. Okay, all it is doing is returning an array to us. And if we want to access the first element, the first value of that array, we just use bracket notation. So I'm going to put in bracket here, and 0, that's the first value, the first element of that array. Save it. Come over here, refresh, and we get a 2. So 2 is the first element that passes the truth test. And that's it. That's it. So the last challenge, the finding the smallest common multiple, it was crazy. Remember that? It's this crazy algorithm. We had to learn about math and all that craziness. Well, this challenge, I don't know. I mean, I trust the people at Free Code Camp, but I believe this one belongs in the beginning section because we've seen the filter method so many times, and we just have to access the first item of that filtered array, and we do it with a bracket notation. Now, normally I copy and paste my code to test it into Free Code Camp's website, but this is such a simple one-liner. I'm just going to go back in here. I'm going to do the same thing. So return array filter. It takes a function, so there it is. There's the function, and then I want to access the first value of that, and let's run it. Woohoo! Okay, there it is. We have passed all of the tests, and this one-liner argument, it works. It works for us. So anyway, relatively easy tonight, especially compared to last night's challenge. But I think the value of this lesson is that just because we have these methods and we've been writing out the long way, anonymous functions and doing everything in here, okay? I mean, just because we've been doing it that way, I mean, the lesson is you can store a function in a variable. And it's actually called, what is the exact terminology for it? I believe it's called a function expression. Yeah. So, normally when we write a function, like this function right here, this is called a function statement. But anytime we store a function in a variable, so like var function, our func2, and then we do something like this. What's wrong with me? Okay, anytime we do something like that, and then we have some code right here, well, it is a function expression. And this variable here, we can just plop it into whatever array method or whatever you have that accepts anonymous functions. It works exactly the same way. So this was a relatively easy challenge compared to last night's the last challenge, but it is useful because we learned that we can just pass in a variable that stores a function, and that's it. That's all we have to do. So we return a filter array and then just select the first item in there. Okay, so anyway, thank you for watching as usual. If you have any questions, comments, or suggestions for improvement, I would love to hear from you. Please write them in the comments below, and I will be sure to respond to you. Right now, I'm not super duper YouTube famous or anything like that. Not yet, anyway. So trust me, I have plenty of time to respond, and I will respond to anything that you post. People who love me, people, the haters, if you will. So far, no haters, which has been awesome. But you know, um, uh, anyway, I would appreciate if you spread the love. So if you like this video, if you share it on your Facebook group, if you subscribe to my channel, that would really help me out. It would really help you out, and it would help the folks, the good folks at freecodecamp.com, spreading the love and getting the word out there. Okay, I can't believe this video took so little time tonight. I'm just kind of rambling on because you know, I don't feel rushed or stressed. So thank you for watching, and I look forward to seeing you in the next video. That's it for now. Goodbye. Bye.